Alright guys, Raw Rustler here, and today I just want to go over this week in wrestling. So today is June 9th, the day of UFC 200, which I'm also going to talk about, and I just want to go over what's happened this week. This probably won't be a weekly thing because it's a lot of effort, but this will be something that I will do when a big week of wrestling has happened, like this week. So I'll do Monday Night Raw, NXT, the Bracketology, Lucha Underground, SmackDown, and then UFC. So there's quite a lot to cover, so let's get straight into it. Monday Night Raw, basically this is very easy. Nothing happened, it wasn't a very good episode of Raw this week, although there were some Battleground matches made. Those would be Becky Lynch against Natalya, which I'm looking forward to, even though I feel like they might give it to Natalya because she's lost this big feud to Charlotte and she hasn't pinned her once, basically. Which I think Becky Lynch needs to win a feud at this point. She's lost to Sasha Banks, she lost to her in NXT. She does need to win a feud. I can't see her winning this one though, so damn, Becky Lynch is definitely the one of the one of the four horsewomen that I think will get the least effort put into her from creative. So that's kind of sad. Another match made for Battleground on this week's Raw was John Cena and Enzo and Cass taking on the Club. Very interesting. It's very nice to see Enzo and Cass in that big main event spotlight picture, and in there with guys like Gallows and Anderson, one of the best tag teams on the planet. What else happened on Raw? There was obviously Ambrose and Rollins, and they both had a match. Rollins cut a really good promo on Ambrose, and that was pretty much it for Monday Night Raw. So Raw was meh, again, as usual. Moving on with NXT, and NXT to me was probably the best it's been in ages. This was the best episode of NXT for quite some time, probably since the Samoa Joe, Sami Zayn 2 out of 3 Falls episode. And yeah, just a really good match between Alexa Bliss and Bayley to kick off the show. I thought it was really good. Alexa Bliss is improving, and Bayley still shows why she's probably the second best diva women's wrestler on the roster. And then we had the Hype Bros against Blake and Murphy. It lasted 54 seconds. Rhino came out. That was fine. I liked it. Whatever. And then the main event, of course, was the Revival against American Alpha, 2 out of 3 Falls NXT Tag Team titles. Now, this is very subjective, but I think this is the best match they've had. I'd give it about 4.25 stars. I thought it was excellently put together. I thought the fact that they both blocked the other's finishes was just incredibly smart. Great psychology. A great finish with the Shatter Machine on the apron. The Revival retained 2-1. So, great match. 4.25 stars, my match of the week. And then we moved on to the Bracketology, which the Cruiserweight Classic Bracketology, which basically went over a couple of the 32 athletes in the tournament, which I really, really liked. You got to look at guys like Alejandro Saez, from Chile. There's a guy from Chile. There's a guy from American Samoa in that tournament, which I find really, really cool. You looked at Jack Gallagher, you know, the good ones like, you know, the big ones like Sabre and Kota Ibushi, who I think will be the finalists, although I'm pulling for Drew Gulak. But yeah, really good stuff. It's nice to get the solidification from Triple H that it will be commentated by Daniel Bryan and Mauro Ranallo. They should work fine together. Looking forward to the CWC next week. I'm going to cover that next week as well as next week's NXT, which of course will feature Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura, which should be amazing, and Bayley and Nia Jax, which should be a very good match, knowing how much Nia Jax has improved. So the Bracketology, very entertaining. I'm still pulling for Drew Gulak. After that, we had Lucha Underground, which I thought this week was very good. It was the start off of Ultimate Lucha Dos, and we started off with the For a Unique Opportunity Tournament, which saw Son of Havoc beat Tejano in a pretty decent matchup. And then, I believe the Mac beat Cage? I could be wrong, I've kind of forgot. But very good Mac and Cage match. Really, really good match. Just chaos and crazy and just awesome stuff. And then in the main event, Son of Havoc won. And he won an opportunity, which was he would main event Ultimate Lucha 3 or something like that, Ultimate Lucha 3, which Dario Cueto said you can keep that if you beat the next guy, and it was Dr. Wagner Jr. came out, beat Son of Havoc, and that was the end of the show. Good debut, good episode. Son of Havoc was great this week, so was Cage, so was the Mac, and Tejano was pretty good too. Good episode of Lucha Underground. I'm looking forward to Prince Puma and Rey, obviously, and Pentagon and Matanza, and that trios titles match, which is like Phoenix, Aerostar, and Drago against Jack Evans, who I really like, PJ Black, again I really like, and Johnny Mundo, who I like. So that should be a really good trios match. And after Lucha Underground, we finally had SmackDown, where we found out Brock Lesnar's SummerSlam opponent, Randy Orton, and people are really hating this, like, oh man, that's going to be boring. This is so exciting. This has so much potential, because Orton and Lesnar has not been done in 15 years. We haven't seen it in so long. So unlike today's WWE product, it's not stale, it's new, it's vibrant, there's a lot of potential there. I mean, the F5 countering an F5 into an RKO writes itself. So, come on. I'm looking forward to that match. I think it'll be awesome. And apart from that, though, SmackDown was kind of bland. I thought that the AJ Styles Enzo Amore match was fairly decent, and the Jey Uso Rollins match was fairly decent. It was nice to have Ambrose as the guest announcer. Lastly, UFC 200, of course, is tonight. Brock Lesnar faces Mark Hunt in the main event of the show. We found out that Daniel Cormier will not be fighting John Jones, because John Jones basically was a dope. Get the joke? It's actually a fairly good joke. By the way, Sheamus 5:15 today. So yeah, Daniel Cormier will fighting Anderson Silva. Miesha Tate fights Amanda Nunes, and the other match on the main card is Frankie Edgar against Jose Aldo. So I would probably pick Aldo to win. I pick Miesha Tate to win. Cupcake's got to win, really. She just beat Holly Holm. I can't imagine she'd lose immediately. Cormier to beat Anderson Silva, I think. Because Anderson Silva kind of a bit floppy at the moment. And I'm going to go with Lesnar to beat Mark Hunt. I just really want him to. He's one of my favourite wrestlers of all time. I've got to pull for Brock Lesnar. You know, he's the wrestling guy. I'm a UFC fan, but I've got to pull for Brock Lesnar in that situation. But will he? Oh man, Mark Hunt is such a good striker, and Lesnar's issue is striking. I mean, watch the Cain Velasquez fight, and you'll see what issues he has with striking. But I'm hoping he can get Mark Hunt down very early and just ground and pound him, as he did to Shane Carwin. I believe he did to Frank Mir. So I'm hoping that's what Brock Lesnar can do. So I guess that's it. That has been this week in wrestling, or this week in combat sports. Now I think about it. Tell me, what do you think? Do you think Lesnar's going to beat Mark Hunt? Do you think Lucha Underground is which show do you think was the best actually from this week? I would say Lucha Underground was the best this week. Oh no, actually I wouldn't. I'd say NXT was slightly better than Lucha Underground this week. And I guess thanks for watching, guys. This has been Raw Wrestler. I haven't watched Ring of Honor yet. I haven't watched New Japan yet. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Raw Wrestler. Like, comment and subscribe for more Brock Lesnar tonight. Come on, Brock, you can beat Mark Hunt.